I'm sorry I hid from you. I did not know you because I am scared. But now I wonder, well, would you be my friend? I like that, Duke. I like that very much.
Hello guys, welcome back to Dragon Ball TPNL, and today we are going to be reviewing Thomas Evans Blue Mountain Mystery review today, and I join here by Thomas, of course, a title main character, of course, this is a Trackmaster version, no, the classic one, the classic Trackmaster version, but anyways, let's get started with the review. So then, what is the plot of this story? Right then, so basically the plot is Thomas was sent to work at the Blue Mountain Quarry where the narrow gauge engines are working, and because of Paxton have a little accident at the start of the movie, and also Reneus as well, because basically he has to get over the narrow side of a bridge really quickly, and along the way he accidentally got scratched and bruises, but he's somehow perfectly alright. But as for Paxton, though, yeah, he almost got buried alive. So yeah, so that is why Paxton needs to send to the diesel works to be repaired, and then Thomas comes in and take his place for a while until he gets fixed. So yeah, but in the but on the way he spotted this green narrow gauge engine who comes around, and where Thomas was going to speak to him, but then the narrow gauge engines come in and get you to go back into hiding, and then the narrow gauge engines told Thomas about you. And he said he's done something really bad. So yeah, and he asked Thomas to keep it a secret. So Thomas did not tell anybody about this, but he did tell like what they did. It was so bad we could be sent away from Sodor. So yeah. And it's this thing just have not a great weapon system though, except for a part where Mr. Iron Rescues got mentioned. Why? For God's sake, the movie. Okay, but anyways, we got a good callback for Dynamine, Sad Story of Henry, and also where Percy needs a scarf episode. So yeah, and then after that, the next day, Luke, aka the Green Engine, Thomas actually just won his trust, and in one of those days, Vagatrol has come, Vagatrol and also Mr. Percival comes in Wisdom, aka one of the new characters, basically told Thomas to go back to his Branchline again now, because Paxton has finally been repaired. That's good. And then
it looks like you haven't set up iMessage yet.
Sorry about that, folks. Right. But anyways, before I get interrupted by Siri, I was saying that the Pack Controller and Mrs. Percival saying that you can go back to your Bandshine now, Thomas, because Paxton has already been repaired. So yeah, but Thomas did not go back to his Bandshine straight away. Straight away though, he tells Duke you don't have to hide anymore. But then Duke actually gave him a reason why he's keep trying to hide. Because he accidentally done something he will regret it. Yes. There is also basically the whole story is Luke accidentally knocked an engine into the ocean once, and then later he thought that engine was scrapped and he accidentally killed him. Like, wow, this is deep though. But don't worry, that engine wasn't even being killed. I will not reveal who is who. But again, if you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. But to those who haven't watched the movie, maybe that's your spoiler right here. But anyways, Meanwhile, Paxton was listening to their conversation, and after this, he went ahead and told Diesel about it though. But anyways, meanwhile, Thomas did go back to his Bandshine, but he did the mystery of the story. He wasn't even thought about it. So Thomas went ahead to ask went ahead and asked Cranky about did you get that yellow engine off to the sea, and Cranky doesn't know. Cranky did sort of give in a clue, but no. And then like Diesel and Paxton was trying to like expose Duke for something, but anyways, I'm not getting to that point. But anyways, Thomas did go to Diesel Works, but no engine was there, and then Edward gave him an idea is to, what about you just check out the Steamworks or something? And so he did. And surprisingly enough, it was Victor. Yes, Victor was on their engine, and he did survive. And basically, the whole story was, after he was taken out of the ocean, he went and he was repaired and rebuilt, and he also learned English as well. Well, so basically, in his whole background segment, he was actually speaking Spanish. So his basis must become from Spain then. Maybe. But anyways, Thomas was so happy, and then he went ahead and told Luke, and then all the narrow gauge engines actually just like got it defended, and he went, and all the narrow gauge engines just like went off, and then where Diesel found like Luke, and went ahead and like told guys about him, Thomas literally goes up to Owen, Walkie, to get him onto Owen, and Owen lifted himself up so Thomas can get to Duke and explain the whole story. And then Thomas almost fall, but Duke saved him just in time before he comes over. And then that's one navigate changes over. But then once the two engines go onto the railboat, they literally just went flying down, and that is safety somehow. But anyways, Flight Control and Mr. Percival ride on Winston and see what is actually a matter. Diesel explained to him explained to the Flight Control and Mr. Percival about Luke, but it's all a lie. And then Thomas was about to explain it, but where Paxton actually came for Victor, and Victor actually explained the whole thing. And Flight Control was actually impressed and told Diesel off to not actually jump into the conclusions before you get to know the facts. And I think that's the whole message in the movie, though. That's really surprising. But anyways, that's the end of the movie. That's it. There's nothing else. Except for the one credit scene where, like, in some of the scenes in the movie where Nace needed to fetch Luke to paint, and he did reveal it in the secret ending, in the end credit scene where Victor was painted yellow. I mean, when Nace was painted yellow. Like, I don't know why, but I think it's just mainly for good merchandising. Maybe. What do you think, Thomas? Yeah, definitely for merchandising. Right. Anyways, that's the whole part of the movie. Now then, let's see. Is it a good movie or is it a bad movie? Now, all of the Thomas fans seems to be liking this movie, and I can totally see why. Because for one thing, it was written by Sherman Miller, but also he was edited and also they hired Andrew Brenner as a script editor, and suddenly it was actually like fixed. There was no more wiring and invitation. And also basically it does have you think like what is the mystery of this Nero engine is? Who is he? Like we know it is Victor's shape, but again, and that's another complaint about it, because we know this is Victor, but again, it could be we're having more mysteries though if it was like some random new guy, but no. No, actually, this is actually a pretty good point, because if it's some random new character we haven't even met yet, that otherwise it will be making a mystery a lot more like difficult. But having Victor a backstory is actually pretty good, and it makes a more depth of Victor's character in the CGI Sherman Miller era. And that is why a lot of people actually do like him. Like him as a character. Like, I don't mind. Like, I don't mind. So, yeah. And diving into, like guilt of Nuke. And having Nuke and, like, basically, like, feeling guilty about his mistake. It's still there as... It's still there, and apparently the truth actually did reveal himself. So, no. And also, he does have a really good matches. No, don't jump into conclusions until you discover the truth you own. That is a pretty good message for like children and also adults who gets too much into jumping to things as well. And I would say Blue Mountain Mystery is a really good movie though. But I would say I have one problem with the movie actually. Basically, the one point I do have about the movie though is to basically Winston's character. I wish he has like some sort of introduction first of all, like maybe after Paxton's accident or something. Maybe we can get it introduced. But again, that is just my opinions on that. But again, that is just more dedicated side as well. But there's also another positive side actually. Because first of all, the navigation engines was absent throughout season 13 through to 15, and also the last 3 movies of Sharon Mirror era. They decided to bring them back, and also in the behind the scenes, they actually go to the Telephone Railway and actually reboot CGI models based off of that information. It's called Expiring Guys. So yeah. So basically, yeah. And for the voice actors of the navigation engines, yeah, I think they do like some sort of good job. No, but yeah. I wish they do bring back 2 more navigation engines. They could bring back though, like Duncan and also Duke as well. But again, I think the only like a main 5 of the navigation engines, I think that's okay at the wall though. But anyways, I would say yes. Blue Mountain Mystery is a start. I would just say, as a start, Blue Mountain Mystery and season 16 is a start almost at the end of a chapter of the Sharon Mirror era, but also as a start of a new era. Yes. What I'm talking about is the Andrew Brenner era, aka the Mattel era of CGI. Now, so Blue Mountain Mystery is no better than any other Sharon Mirror movies we got. Hero Wales is the decent of a movie, but as for Mystery Island Rescue and the Days, they are terribly bad. This one is a step up. Though. It's still my favorite, but it's still a step up, though. No, but But anyways, again, that's just my review on Blue Mountain Mystery, and hope you guys enjoyed the video, and tell me what your thoughts about Blue Mountain Mystery. Is it good, or is it bad, or is it somewhat in the middle? Middle though, for you guys. But anyways, I do quite enjoy the film, so you should definitely go and watch it. But anyways, I will see you guys soon. This is Dragon Ball 2 now, signing out.